attempt to summon my intellect, my focus to try to be as direct and cut and dry as I can. The information I'm about to break down is of the greatest import on the face of this planet today. Undoubtedly, every major Western Defense Department is putting out public policy reports stating they believe that Western society will start collapsing in 2016, peaking in 2025. The British Ministry of Defense first came out with this report in 2007. The London Guardian reported on it. Revolution, flash mobs, and brain chips, a grim vision of the future. You read the news headlines today and then physically see what's happening on the streets. It's unfolding all over the world, except in a few wealthy Western pockets. And even there, the signs of the collapse are speeding up dramatically. Western governments are training and stockpiling for civil war. Derivatives since 2008 have only expanded from 1.6 quadrillion globally, 1,600 trillion, to 2.2 quadrillion. Debt not owned, not owed by the people. This has all been artificially orchestrated and brought into place to execute the global cascading crises and fiascos so the managing class, the ruling class, can bring in their technocracy, planetary government as the solution. We are seeing world leaders from the Pope right down to the media at the Weather Channel endorsing global government and carbon taxes. We are seeing rule by secrecy being flaunted openly with the TPP. We are witnessing the final preparations for a new kind of war to be launched, a war by the technocrat, techno-tyranny class against civilization and against humanity, because they believe that they're not in full control of civilization and that civilization is wasteful and destructive and humanity is a cancer and must be removed in an emergency surgery now, which of course transfers all the power and the control and the spoils of the technological revolution to a tiny elite. Hitler talked about the breast of the earth being crushed by the weight of humanity. He was quoting, of course, the philosopher Plato, who believed Greece was overpopulated 2,400 plus years ago. Hitler did everything he did basically along the lines of PETA. He was a vegetarian. He was an animal rights activist. And the reason I raise all this is that this whole cultural shift, you can decide to join with it and see it from the perspective of humans are hurting the earth and humans are hurting animals and humans are destructive and humans are a cancer, and then join with it. But you only join in helping organize the downfall of our species as we know it and the transference of power to the elite, and you will not be allowed entrance into the globalist overall master program. We are living in a super hardcore dystopic reality where the old vestiges of the decadent, dumbed down, bloated, corrupt, mafia system is about to be swept away. And in its place, something beyond any science fiction nightmare novel you've ever read. The globalists have written it in hundreds of books. They've put it in thousands of white papers. I've made 20-plus films, most of them on the eugenics subject. I am one of the world experts on this from the outside. On the inside, they know a lot more than I do. Just what's publicly available is so horrific, it makes my heart stop a beat. I don't know if there's going to be a collapse this year. I don't know if it's going to be next year, but I know the derivatives are untenable. I know the military actions are building up towards a crisis. I know the elites are making final preparations and running out of the West to remote armored redoubts, fortresses, keeps, castles, bunkers, and it's in the news. And then I get calls by people in government and people in the military and people in entertainment. And I don't just make those claims. You've heard all the famous people that have been on this show that we've woken up or who were already awake and reached out to us. For every one you hear on the show, there's 10 or 15 that are scared to come on, a lot of which are bigger than who you've heard on this broadcast, and they're all confirming what we are witnessing. There is a death battle commitment being set up right now by the Western elites to take over the world, to save it from humanity. They've got to have a planetary government in place to have global one-child policies, forced inoculations, forced GMO to sterilize us on record, forced bans on eating meat, breakup of the family, cultural revolution with a futuristic overlay, with a great leap forward, communalizing all of us, not to build humanity towards the future. That would fail, of course. But consciously to collectivize us into a corporate Borg hive to have an orderly dismantlement and extermination of humanity, starting with the third world, using the collapsing third world to collapse the West, except for government, corporate, military reservations that will take full control of what's left of the West in the name of protecting the West during the collapse, and will use that to consolidate fully all the rest of the resources into themselves because they'll be exempt from taxes, exempt from carbon trading, exempt from all of the other rules, fusing it all under national and global security into their command-based citadels that are not yet complete to carry out the final bioweapon releases that'll wipe out 99% of the world. They tell their first initiates, we're going to kill 80%, you're going to be part of it. Higher level, 90. Deeper initiates, 98. And when you get up to the very highest levels of the UN, world government, IBM, global panopticonic supercomputer master plan, it's more than 1% that'll be wiped out. It's more than 99. I haven't gotten into any documents or sources where they're talking about killing more than 99, but you can look at it and tell they're planning, they're not going to leave 3-4 million people. They're going for broke. These globalists will start killing each other. They're not going to, with their wickedness and their craven hatred of others and their fearfulness and their greed, that spirit's never going to end until there are two New World Order super beings, in their view, merge with computers that will basically engage in a war with each other. Now, Kurzweil and others claim, no, we won't do that to each other. We'll all just blast off in our spaceships as computers and go colonize and build new creations as God. It's totally delusional. It's totally insane. I'm not saying it's going to work. I'm not saying it's real. But think about the Egyptians. They just found 8 million mummified dogs in Egypt because they thought that made the dog live with them into the future. Whole societies based around whacked out bull. Hitler, all that stuff. Jim Jones, communism, all this craziness. This is organized around science. This is organized around technology. And the eugenicists, starting in the 1850s with Sir Francis Galton and with Darwin, Charles Darwin, they were cousins. They created the whole system we live under today. And a lot of elitists say to me, they say, Alex, we're going to come back and talk to Paul Watson. They say, Alex, the elite invented all this to take over. Doesn't that mean they have the right to rule because they care to have power? They care to build civilization. They care to pick members of the public they believe are worth their weight to join them. Why don't you join them, Alex? The mere fact that you are aware of all this and care means you should join. In fact, I've even basically had the messages sent to me that I could join them now. And I sit here and watch the public wanting to be destroyed, wanting to be annihilated, wanting to have your soul sucked, wanting to turn yourself over to this false reality and this false culture of mind-controlled narcissists. When we come back, I'm getting into the evidence of the orchestrated worldwide collapse that we are warp speed moving towards. I'm going to talk to Paul Watson about a master article I want to write to come out tomorrow that ties it all together. So we're going to brainstorm together straight ahead. Then I'll go over all the latest news that made me issue the total emergency alert. Stay with us. For all of recorded history, civilizations around the world praised the health benefits of silver. At InfoWars Life, our mission is to bring you the highest quality, purest, cleanest, effective colloidal silver on the market today for the lowest price available. You don't have to be a doctor to know. The fall and winter months are the most dangerous time of year in North America when it comes to you and your family's health. InfoWarsLife.com is very excited to announce our biggest run yet of Silver Bullet colloidal silver, exclusively available at InfoWarsLife.com. Now, InfoWarsLife.com has taken colloidal silver to the next level using a cutting-edge technique that is free of toxic artificial additives. Now more than ever, it's important to stock up on high-quality Silver Bullet from InfoWarsLife.com and to help others during Christmas by teaching them about the powerful benefits of silver. Secure your Silver Bullet today at InfoWarsLife.com or by calling toll-free 888-253-3139.